Hello to another day. Yeah, I sound bored because I don't think I feel like doing this, but I'm gonna do it anyway so I can keep doing at it. And I'm too lazy to do the freaking pink hair, so I'm gonna just do a wig. So I'm just keep this right here. So this is what my hair actually kind of looks like. So it's gonna keep growing. So yeah, let's get this started, shall we? Alright. Chapter 17, One of Us, of Equestria Girl Starlight Story, by Math16. Exterior Courtyard, Crystal Prep Academy, Candlelight City, afternoon. Continue from the previous scene or chapter. Everyone in the front lawn is looking at Starlight glimmer at the school's wrecked entrance, just after she shot Principal Cinch with a magical energy beam in order to save Twilight. Twilight is incredibly happy to see Starlight has come out to help. Sunset Shimmer, Spike, Sunburst, and Sunburst comes out of the school behind Starlight. Sunset is carrying Starlight's duffel bag in one hand, and her backpack in the other. All the possessed students, faculty members, and heads of school boards look at Starlight with such displeasure for attacking their master. So they all decide to charge and attack Starlight Glimmer all at once, people, all at once. As Starlight, I hope you read this better than I can. As Starlight sees a crowd of angry, cursed people running towards her, she places the bottom of her magical reactor onto the center of her chest piece to her harness, and then twists it on, kind of like Iron Man. Then she presses the activation switch, and as the little port of Equestria opens in the base, mystical energy flows through the cables running down her arms and legs. When it reaches the end, the veins on her wrists and ankles start to glow aqua, and her eyes shortly glow as well. When the mob gets closer to her, she simply raises her hand and emits an energy wave that spreads all throughout the courtyard. The Brainwash army has suddenly realized they are each surrounded by magic aura and are completely frozen in place, unable to move a muscle. Everyone else, the Changelings, the Shell 5, the Humane 7, Spike, Flash Century, Sunburst, Professor Discord, and Mr. Smooth all stare with astoundment to see Starlight use magic to easily freeze a whole army of people. By waving her other hand, Starlight's magic picks up all the frozen and draws them towards her so quickly. She brings all of them into the school's foyer behind her. When every possessed victim is inside the school, Starlight sticks both her hands out and they glow even brighter. Just then, dark pinkish smoke starts seeping out the frozen people's eyes and mouths. Starlight moves her hands, long paragraph as hell, moves her hands so one is facing downward and the other is facing upward, half a foot apart from each other. They form a ball of pure energy floating between them, and a strange smoke is being drawn to it. The streams of smoke enter it and are being collected inside the magic orb. Meanwhile, the surrounding wall of the school, Cinch is shaking her head, trying to gain consciousness. She can see Starlight glimmer at the front entrance, and she is appalled at what Starlight is doing. Once this last ounce of smoke goes in the magic ball, Starlight clenches her upper hand into a fist, and smashes it down into the palm of her lower hand, shattering the orb and the smoke, breaking the curse. Starlight then lifts the freeze spell, causing everyone to fall to the floor. They all start to wake up immediately. The students of faculty, Spoiled Rich, Rosetta, Principal Celestia, Vice Principal Luna, Dean Cadence, and Shining Armor. Spoiled Rich. Oh, my head. Rosetta. What was that all about? Starlight Glimmer, to the crowd. Excuse me. Look, I'm terribly sorry about this. I'm afraid you're all gonna have to stay here for your own safety. Okay? Starlight takes one step back and raises both her hands. Two beams come down to the floor, and they form a big, smooth, transparent wall made of crystal, covering the entire opening. Now their only exit is blocked. The people inside get up and put their hands to the side of the wall, feeling perplexed as to what's going on. Starlight then teleports herself from where she was, over to standing right beside where Twilight is laying. Twilight smiles looking up to her and offers her a hand. Starlight feels unsure at first, but then she slowly lowers her own hand until she finally accepts and smiles back. She helps Twilight onto her feet, and all their friends, both Wondercoats and Shadows, come up to them, happy to see Starlight joining them. Starlight Glimmer. Hey girls, sorry it took so long. I was just catching up with an old friend. Starlight turns to look to Somber smiling, who has just arrived with Sunset and Spike. Starlight looks around at her friends, until she notices Cinch trying to get back up. Starlight moves on the girls aside and walks over to her. As Cinch is finally standing, she realizes her metal chest piece with the Shadowbolt S emblem is badly singed and partly smoking. She looks up angrily at Starlight walking towards her, and decides to walk to her as well. Starlight's friends want to help her, but Twilight holds out her arms, blocking the others. Twilight Sparkle. This is Starlight's battle. Looking at Sunset. It's time for her to face her own demons. Sunset nods in agreement, and turns to look at Thorax. He nods as well, and then looks at Pharynx to the changing grunts. Alright, listen up. All forces stand down. Everybody moves up to the walls in front of the school, and the walls are in the courtyard. The two changing brothers, the Humane 7, and the Shadow 5. Old Spike, Flash Sentry, Sunburst, Mr. Smooth, and Professor Disco watch from the bushes. The large crowd continue to watch through the crystal wall. Both Starlight and Cinch walk down the trail towards each other, until they stop at the center, about a couple of feet apart from each other. They just stand there, staring at one another face to face. Principal Cinch. So, Miss Glimmer, come back to turn everyone against me again. Starlight Glimmer. You need me to make that happen? Principal Cinch. Come to witness all that you've achieved. You know, I really should thank you for all of this. It was your genius that made all of this possible. You asked me once which is the worst, the monsters or the people who make them. Starlight Glimmer. I think I speak for everyone when I say I'm done taking credit for your dirty work. I may have created the device to generate magic in this world, but we both know you're the one who tried to take it and turn yourself into this monstrosity, and I'm here to correct a mistake. The two start walking in a circle, still staring at each other. Principal Cinch. I will not let you ruin me. Starlight Glimmer. Your spite infinity have already done that. You have spent your whole life abusing your position and selfishly using your influence to twist the minds of youth to be fixated to your ideal. Until now you have become even worse than anything you can come up on your own. Principal Cinch. Don't try to scold me, Starlight. I now see the true nature of what magic can do. You can feel it, can you? You can feel it, can you? Oh, I can. We are not afraid to use it as Twilight was. They both stopped at what the other was standing before. Cinch turns to see the school. Now I will bring glory, recognition, respect, and supremacy to my Crystal Empire. I can hear everyone saying, Your Empire. Sorry, Glimmer. Did you say Crystal Empire? Principal Cinch. Don't kid yourself, Starlight. You wanted this as much as I do. Starlight Glimmer. Cinch, I only did all that because I thought I wanted equality. I wanted fairness. Principal Cinch. Typical Wondercoat tactic. She turns back to Starlight. Well, what about now? Do you really think you can defeat me? You think you're better than me? Starlight Glimmer. No, of course not. I think I'm too much the same as you, so I know I can beat you. Cinch's smile turns into a scowl. Come on, Abacus. Prove me wrong. They both clench their fists and run straight at each other. A slow motion sequence shot at their feet running, the Matrix Revolutions, in case nobody would get the reference. They start building up speed as they keep running, and then they return to regular speed until they collide. They start off with hand-to-hand combat. The two trade blows, blocking and avoiding any attack that comes their way. At one point, Cinch blocks an attack from Starlight, delivers a wicked smile, and builds up magic in her other hand. She openly hits Starlight with a magic blast at point-blank range. Starlight flies back, and she slides down on the ground. She backflips into a standing corner, or position. Cinch is surprised to see not a scratch on her, and sees a streak of light sliding up her body that is shaped like her outline. Principal Cinch. A magical armor coating. Clever. Using her own magic, Cinch creates invisible armor for herself. This would be most useful. Starlight Glimmer. Using other people's ideas as your own again? Now, when I do it, it's flattering, but when you do it, that's just sad. They run at each other again, and they try shooting the other, but they keep missing because they keep blocking and throwing their arms off. Everyone's watching, impressed by the laser light show. In the bushes, Flash and Sunburst just notice that Discord has his phone out. Sunburst, you're filming this? Professor Discord. Why not? After a few misses, both Starlight and Cinch are able to get their hands to face each other. The two energy spheres collide and then merge together into one. The power surges, but then it shrinks down until it vanishes. Then, a massive energy explodes on that spot, blowing the two away in opposite directions. Starlight is able to do a backflip in midair until she lands perfectly on her feet, but Cinch merely crashes, sliding down onto the ground. She aggressively gets up, and Starlight fires at her with an energy beam. Cinch easily dodges it and looks back at Starlight, feeling all smug. Principal Cinch, was that really a bad shot? She opens fire. Starlight Glimmer, smiling. Nope. She then opens up a portal right in front of her, and the beam goes in. Then suddenly, Cinch gets attacked from behind by her very own energy beam. As she falls to the ground again, it is revealed there is a second portal right behind her. The portal in front of Starlight is connected. It's yours. The whole crowd, inside and outside the school, are cheering at what Starlight had done. Pharynx, mocking Cinch, why are you hitting yourself? Cinch gets up angry. As she runs straight at Starlight, and Starlight prepares herself, Cinch starts to perform a jump kick, but then she teleports away. She reappears from behind, but Starlight predicts and quickly blocks it along with several others. Principal Cinch, you can't win, Starlight. I got the home field advantage. Starlight Glimmer, you sure about that? After knocking Cinch away, Starlight uses her magic. Cinch tries to come at her again, but something is holding her back. She looks down on her ankle and sees a form of metal ring wrapped around it, being held down by a metal cable in the ground. Using her magic again, Starlight catches the homemade stun rod that is launched from where it was buried and uses it on Cinch. Starlight's friends are actually shocked to see this. Twilight Sparkle, where did that come from? Sarah Sweet, did she booby trap the court? Booby trap the court? She booby trapped the courtyard? Luckily for Cinch, the magic shielding covering her is keeping most of the shock out, but she can still feel it sapping her. She knocks out Starlight's hand and shoots magic at the ring. Starlight starts running and Cinch goes after her. With the glow of magic from Starlight's hand, a launching machine comes out from the ground and fires a net on Cinch. Pinkie Pie, oh, hidden her arsenal. Maybe I should try that. Rainbow Dash, wow, magic Wi-Fi? Apparently that's a thing. Indigo Sap, Toon Starlight, can you do that? Sensation seems annoyed of that comment. Cinch struggles inside the net, until she uses magic to rip it to pieces. She continues pursuing Starlight to the nearest tree. Starlight runs up and jumps off the tree's trunk. When she gets over to the other side of Cinch, Starlight kicks her into the trunk. Cinch then sees a brace around her wrist from the trunk, and a small pipe popping out of it. She points a magic bubble on the end of the pipe, and it fills with a cloud of gas. Great big ball of gas! As Starlight uses a speed spell to get away, Cinch tears the brace off of the tree. Starlight stops, and as Cinch gets closer, Starlight's hand glows again, and a collapsible cages pops up, pulling itself together and imprisons Cinch inside. But Cinch unleashes a burst of energy that busts the cage and knocks Starlight off her feet. Cinch's aura is around Starlight, and she gets tossed in the surrounding wall. Everyone got out of the way, of course. Cinch used her own speed spell to run up to Starlight and hold her up against the wall. As she pulls her fist back for a punch, Starlight teleports a few feet away at the last second. So when Cinch throws the punch, she expresses a look of displeasure, implying she hit nothing but the wall. Kinda like that. External, at Crystal Prep Academy, Canterlot City. Cinch's scream is so loud it can be heard several blocks away. External courtyard, Crystal Prep Academy. The whole crowd feels uncomfortable, knowing how much pain Cinch is in right now. Cinch holds onto her hand, wailing and grunting. That's gotta hurt. As she's distracted, Starlight uses magic to pull some high-tech color from a duffel bag. A flash of light occurs in front of Cinch, and her hand is in a magic aura, implying that she used a healing spell on herself. Suddenly, Starlight pulls the collar around Cinch's neck from behind and casts a spell on the wall, creating an aura on it. Cinch strikes, Starlight dodges, and she self cinches to the magic spot. As Cinch enters, she is facing through the wall and ends up on the other side. She tries to get back through, but the magic on the wall disappears, so she can't come back in. Using her magic, Starlight activates her adjustments to the wall. A beacon with a big red light appears on top of each column of the wall. As the lights go on, Cinch can see that lights in the color turn on as well. Then she feels a couple of faults being administered around her neck. She grunts and flinches from all the shocks. Sunny Flare and Sugarcoat watch Cinch's condition through the school skate. Sunny Flare: "This will finish Sugar's shock collar? Is she for real?" Sugarcoat: "Wow, guess she was dead serious about the whole equality thing." As Cinch keeps groaning in pain, her fangs start to glow again, and she rips the collar right off. After tossing aside aggressively, she leaps over the wall and sees Starlight on the other side. Cinch sends a magical blast her way, and Starlight sets up a magical shield in front of herself. But the impact of the blast on the shield is so powerful, it knocks Starlight off her feet. Cinch lands beside her and uses levitation to lift Starlight way up in the air. Principal Cinch: "For all these years, I've been holding little brats like you up." Then she brings Starlight down, slamming her to the ground, and then stopping on her with no remorse. Luckily for Starlight, the shifting strings of light around her body from every blow means that her magic-coated shield is still up. But she can still feel the force, though. "I brought this academy up from nothing." She stomps on her again, and uses levitation to pick her up. "And nothing's gonna stand in my way." She throws Starlight into one of the crystal mounds she had made earlier. As Starlight lies in the crater she made in the mound, Cinch walks back a few feet and forms a magic spark on the tips of her left hand's index fingers. "But most of all," she points at Starlight, "you." The spark fires up Cinch's fingers, and right when Starlight sees it incoming, she activates the fires on her harness to give her another boost. The spark hits the mountain and explodes. Everyone seems devastated at what is happening to Starlight. But the explosion sends Starlight flying straight up in the air, and then she falls back down. But before she could hit the ground, her magic surrounds her, keeping her up a foot off the ground. She then flies up with self-levitation, and the entire crowd, except the Humane 7, are completely stunned with amazement. Indigo goes out. "Starlight is flying?" Principal Cinch, to Starlight, smirking. "Impressive. You truly got a handle on your magic. I've come up with a few tricks of my own." Cinch begins to stand perfectly straight, and not gaily, but straight, with the palms of both her hands facing straight down. Just then, magic starts flying out of her hands with great magnitude, lifting her off of the ground like two rocket thrusters. Everyone looks at Cinch with disbelief. Sunset Shimmer: "That's a new one." Starlight looks most worried, especially when she sees Cinch coming up towards her. Starlight Glimmer: "Oh boy." So Starlight flies upward as fast as she could, with Cinch getting on her. Everyone looks up to see the two flying up away from the school. They keep ascending higher into the sky. Starlight can see that Cinch is right on her tail, picking up speed, so she tries flying much faster. They fly so high, they made it past the clouds. Talk about being on cloud 9. Cinch gets closer and closer, until she finally grabs hold of Starlight and they both fall. Starlight struggles to get out while free falling. "I'm free falling," or free fucking, whichever one you prefer. She finally breaks free and pushes Cinch aside. The two face each other, still while falling. Principal Cinch: "Very impressive, Starlight, but there's no spell you got that I don't know of." Starlight Glimmer: "I highly doubt that." But their hands start to glow with magic when they fall into a cloud below. When they get to the bottom, Cinch fires an energy blast, but she realizes Starlight has disappeared. She starts flying using her magical thrusters and looks around the sky. She finds no sign for Starlight had gone. Principal Cinch: "Where is she?" "She must have teleported. That means she could be anybody." She gets interrupted when a shadow moves over her. She looks up and spots Starlight jumping from cloud to cloud. Cinch grows in fury and ascends. Starlight had gone away with the cloud walking spell. She continues riding across the cloud surface, while Cinch is flying behind her, throwing energy blasts at her. Oh. Not bad. Quite a sneeze. Where was I? Crap. She could tell. Oh. Okay, she continues running across the cloud's surface, while Cinch is flying behind her, throwing energy blasts at her. Run the bullshit, go! Starlight avoids the projectile, so she's still running. As Cinch keeps flying from Starlight, she laughs maniacally while doing it. Like Voldemort. Sorry, Glimmer. Oh, terrific. Now she's a real witch. Starlight looks up. Now, get you my pretty. And your little dog, too. Team Frost. Starlight looks ahead and gets an idea. She uses her magic to bring the clouds together and form a tunnel which Cinch and herself are going through. Starlight shoots a magical projectile in the center of the tunnel. Suddenly, the clouds turn dark and sparkling with lightning. A few bolts hit Cinch, but she recovers and tries to evade the rest of them. While she is busy, Starlight is able to get out of the cloud tunnel and intends to fly away. But Cinch is able to get out as well, and then swoops down at Starlight. Cinch tackles her, holding on to Starlight tight, and flies straight down at top speed. Exterior, courtyard, Crystal Prep Academy. The group of people inside the school are growing weary. Spoiled Rich, banging on the crystal wall, yelling, "Let me out! I demand you get me out of here at once!" Sunset Shimmer, to everyone inside. Try and stay calm, everyone. Just hold on a little bit longer. Meanwhile, the rest of the crowd outside the school looks up at the now darkened sky for any sign of Starlight. Rainbow Dash, where is she? Do you see her? Lemon says, I don't see her. Twilight looks at her magic spectrometer and sees the light flashing on the edge. She looks up and gets excited about spotting something in the sky. Twilight sparkle, pointing. There she is! Everyone sees Cinch holding onto Starlight while they come down towards the school like a meteor. Everybody, inside and out, seems terrified at the sight. Starlight looks at what they are hurtling towards, so she has to act fast. Before they can get to the school, she grabs hold of Cinch, surrounds them both with magic, and they teleport away. Interior auditorium, Crystal Prep Academy. Cinch and Starlight reappear in the school's auditorium. Starlight kicks Cinch away and they both crash into seats. They break through dozens of chairs until they come to a halt. Starlight gets up, a bit shaken from the crash. But then she sees Cinch hovering and levitating several broken chair pieces. She throws them at Starlight one at a time. Run the bullshit out! And Starlight avoids every one of them. Cinch uses magic to rip a seat out of a socket and hurl it at Starlight. But Starlight catches it with her own magic, and uses magic in her other hand to make the chair spin. Then she tosses it at Cinch, causing him to fade and land on the side of the room. Starlight uses Accelero! You know, this is not Harry Potter. To tackle Cinch and teleport again. Interior, gymnasium, Crystal Prep Academy. They wink back out, sliding on the gym floor. Starlight flips herself into standing up, and as Cinch gets up, Starlight casts magic at the nearest supply closet. And all the gym equipment inside just flies out. Starlight sends them at Cinch, but Principal Cinch would either dodge them, deflect them, or catch them and hold them back at Starlight. And Starlight would do the same. Sorry, Glimmer. Wow, you were right. You really do have the best sports equipment around. Very effective. They continued their little skirmish, with most of the weights and sports gear breaking the walls, the floor, and the trophy cases, especially the one Cinch showed Starlight, Scene 3. Cinch gets fed up and uses her magic hand thrust to go up, and then launches herself at Starlight. She tackles her, and this time she someone teleports them away. Interior, main foyer, Crystal Prep Academy. The people inside are looking around outside to the crystal wall for Starlight. Shining armor. Where'd they go? The crowd gets startled when Cinch and Starlight reappear behind them, rolling in the center of the foyer. Cinch rolls up of Starlight, and sees her former army in front of her. She's about to blast with magic, until... Starlight Glimmer. No! Starlight says something by pushing Cinch's arm aside, causing the blast to hit the trophy case next to them instead. Starlight struggles to keep hold of Cinch when she teleports them both away again. The Shadows are all shocked and confused to what just happened. Interior, hallway, Crystal Prep Academy. They wind up in a hallway in a different part of the school. They continue blocking, blow for blow, shoving each other into the lockers. Starlight pushes Cinch to the lockers, and uses magic to swing the doors open and slam them on Cinch. But Cinch retaliates by sending the stuff in the locker room flying out towards Starlight. Principal Cinch. Give it up, Miss Glimmer. I am the headmistress of Crystal Prep Academy. You can't keep this up forever. Sons Starlight Glimmer. If that's what it takes to keep you from hurting my friends and make Crystal Prep a miserable place, then I'm game. Cinch lunges herself with Starlight, and Starlight opens the locker behind her, jumps over Cinch, and closes with her inside. Cinch is banging. She's locked inside. Then Starlight just teleports away. Then Cinch blasts the door off and starts looking around furiously for Starlight. Exterior, parking lot, Crystal Prep Academy. Starlight reappears and leans on the back wall of the school. She seems exhausted, so she activates the devices and the magic flows through her body, giving her a well-needed boost. Starlight Glimmer. She's right though. I can't keep this up forever. She chose her path from Equestria just as much as I can. I need to try something else. Gotta hit her where it hurts. Let's see. What do we know about her? She's impulsive, she's ungrateful, she likes to hear herself talk. She turns and sees Boyd Rich's butler, Randolph, wiping the hood of the limo with a rag. Then she sees at the corner of the parking lot, just a few spaces away from the limo, is Cinch's car. With the gears in her head turning, Sarah looks around the corner of the school and sees Spike and the guys hiding in the bushes. She begins to grin at the idea. You know, I'd like to talk too. Exterior courtyard. Everyone seems to be waiting for Starlight to return. Then Starlight teleports into the bushes, much to the boys' surprise. Starburst. Starlight! Flash Sentry. Oh good. We should go tell Twilight. Sorry, Glimmer. Wait up on that, guys. There's really no need to let her know. At least not yet. Look, I don't have a lot of time, so I'll make this quick. Discord, I need your help with something. Professor Discord. And why would I ever want to do that? Sorry, Glimmer. Come on, Professor. You want to humiliate Cinch, right? Well, I got something that will hurt her more than anything else. And who better do the honors than the Master of Chaos himself? Professor Discord. You know, I know you try to butter me up, but I like where this is going. Count me in. Sorry, Glimmer. Great. Now, Spike, I need you to do something for me as well. Spike. I'm not gonna like it, am I? Sorry, Glimmer. No. Cinch teleports in the middle of the courtyard. Everyone gets frightened and backs away from her. Principal Cinch. Alright, Starlight. I've had enough with this fooly go round. Come on out and face me. Do you hear me, Starlight? Where are you? Sorry, Glimmer. Right here. Starlight leaps out the bushes and flies straight at Cinch. But Cinch sees her come and catches her with a levitation spell. Starlight stops, flung a few feet off the ground. She moves around with no chance of getting out, as Cinch is holding her in place. Cinch smiles and chuckles at Starlight's current predicament. Principal Cinch. Be honest, Starlight. Did you come to my school to actually learn anything? Sorry, Glimmer. I've learned a lot of things. Like the fact that you have a dog allergy. Sick her! Suddenly, Spike pops out of her backpack, leaps up from her head and onto Cinch's face. Cinch is caught off guard as the purple dog pounces into her face and holds onto her head. Spike growls and barks as Cinch is shaking and trying to get him off her face. Everyone is surprised at what has happened. This causes her to lose her magic grip, and Starlight falls down to the ground. She immediately gets up, and Cinch finally pulls Spike off her face. As she holds him, staring at him with anger, her nose starts to twitch and she groans, indicating she is about to sneeze. She lets go of Spike and laughs with a big sneeze. Achoo! Spike. Gesundheit. Cinch's nose gets a bit stuffy, her eyes now red and watery, and she starts gushing her eyes, while they're closed, as they are now itchy. Spike gets away and back into the bushes, while Cinch is too busy hailing her allergies. Now her eyes are a little puffy, and she looks around frantically. Principal Cinch. Alright, where is she now? A small trick of dark crystal hits her in the back of the head, bouncing off her magic shielding. She turns around fast and sees Starlight, now on the roof of the school. Sorry, Glimmer. I'm right here, you witch. Or bitch. Anyway, we can wrap this up. I would expect this fight to drag a little longer for someone of your age. Principal Cinch. I beg your pardon. Starlight Glimmer. How can someone be able to carry this whole academy on their back without breaking their hip? Principal Cinch. Young lady, don't make me come up there and teach you a lesson. Sorry, Glimmer. First time for everything. The whole crowd is stunned at Starlight's behavior towards her opponent. Sugarcoat. Wow. Sorry, Glimmer. With your lectures, you might as well put yourself to sleep. Principal Cinch. That does it! Cinch teleports on the roof, right by Starlight, and they begin to fight. They exchange blocks and blows with every chance they got. Cinch kicks Starlight off the ledge, but with a flash of light, Starlight lands on the side of the wall, side of the school. She is now walking sideways on the walls. Sorry, Glimmer. Is that all you got? I've seen better. Cinch runs to the edge, and with another flash of light, she can walk on walls as well. Principal Cinch, you insolent child! Who do you think you're talking to? Sorry, Glimmer. No one important, I can tell you that. Principal Cinch, silence! She fires an energy blast, and Starlight does a split to dodge. Sorry, Glimmer. How pathetic. The two engage in continuing the fight on the side of the school. They move around the wall, throwing punches and blocking attacks. Cinch uses magic to make crystal spikes pop out the dark crystal covering the school and moves the surface like putty, in hopes to gain Starlight. But she successfully avoids all of it. Man, they'll make anyone headmistress these days. Oh, it's kind of like Aang. They make anyone Fire Lord these days, or a general these days. Cinch goes up and kicks Starlight upside down, which has her lying on the ground. Cinch fires a beam at her, and when it hits, she gets imprisoned in crystal once again. Cinch leaps out the wall and lands right beside her. Principal Cinch, that'll silence that cursed tongue of yours. That'll show you'll do anything to protect my reputation. Starlight's eyes are glowing. The crystal shatters, and she comes flying out of it. Starlight Glimmer. Well, good luck with that. She flies up, and Cinch flies after her. She fires upon Starlight, but she fakes and fires back. Exterior, Crystal Prep Academy, Catalot City. Storming Flare is driving down the road outside of Crystal Prep for a routine visit to Starlight. She notices the beams of pink and teal light coming from the other side of the outer wall. She passes the gate to have a look inside, but it is blocked by a row of chasing grunts. Stormy Flare. What is going on in there? Exterior, Soccer Pitch, Crystal Prep Academy. Starlight and Cinch fly across the front lawn, and over the soccer field. Cinch continues firing, and Starlight keeps dodging them all. Starlight Glimmer. You've really got to work on your aim. Cinch has had enough, so she thrusts forward and tackles Starlight. They crash onto the field and stand facing each other. Starlight's back is facing the parking lot. Gee, no wonder Twilight likes Princess Celestia more than you. In fact, everybody prefers Celestia over you. Princess Cinch, be quiet! The angry Cinch fires up more magic, which Starlight dodges so easily. Twilight continues to watch, and is worried about how much anger Starlight's insults are making Cinch. Starlight Glimmer. So you won your very first friendship games, learned what it is like to be a colossal jerk, and decided to be a high school principal. What, was librarian not challenging enough for you? Laughter. Twilight Sparkle. Starlight, you have to stop. Principal Cinch, stop it. Stop it. Sorry, Glimmer. Laughter. What? Isn't this how shadows treat their opposites? More laughter. Principal Cinch, you're no shadow bolt. Cinch builds up energy in her hands. The magic crackles and sizzles by the overwhelming amount she's using. She fires it, and at the last minute, Starlight uses levitation to move herself out of the way. The blast keeps going until it reaches the parking lot and hits directly at Cinch's car, causing it to explode. Stormy Flare is terrified at the sound of the explosion when she drives up into the parking lot. Randolph then pokes his head out from hiding on the side of the limo opposite the explosion. Most of the crowd is horrified and confused. Ready? What was that? Stormy Flare moves aside to get a glimpse at the burning car around the corner. Then she turns back at the others with a look of dismay. Stormy Flare. That was Cinch's car. Everyone is now in shock at the realization. Sunset Shimmer. Uh-oh. Cinch has the look of devastation frozen on her face as she watches the flames, unable to cope with the fact that she was just tricked in blowing up her own car. Kind of like Admiral Yao blowing up his own battleship. The floating star looks at the destruction, and then looks back at Cinch, delivering her signature clap. The Kiryu Mike Part 2, which is up. That's a me. What was the part? Oh, Cinch's expression slowly changed to being enraged, and she flies to the girl faster than before. Starlight gets immediately surprised, and in a split second, Cinch tackles her again. Exterior courtyard. Cinch throws herself so hard they both end up right over the front lawn. She then throws Starlight aside before they skip across in their crash landing. They both get up. Cinch uses her measure to break off a piece of crystal from one of the mounds. The piece starts growing in size until it becomes the size of a boulder. She hurls it at Starlight, who addresses it immediately. Cinch continues to enlarge other pieces and chucks them at her, but Starlight would just dodge them, bless them, or just both. Most of the changes gets out of the way from the flying crystals. Tommy, Flare, and Randolph go look around the corner and watch the action. Tommy, Flare, Starlight? Cinch manages to make his crystal 3 times the size of the others, and throws it. As Starlight sees it flying straight at her, she shoots a magical beam at a certain spot on the crystal. The beam creates a small arm on the spot. She runs straight at the boulder, jumps up, and a blast of magic comes out of both her hands from behind to give her a boost forward. By straightening her body horizontally, Starlight goes right to the magic spot and faces to the crystal. Through the transparent boulder, everyone can see Starlight flying through what seems to be a magic tunnel. Then she comes out of another magic spot on the other side, lands safely without any harm, and the boulder comes down without damaging anything or anyone. Everyone watching is very impressed by her feat, especially Twilight. Twilight sparkled. Wow, Rachel Cinch aggressively. Impressive. But fancy stunts like that will not save you. I have more magic than you can possibly What? As she is about to move forward, Cinch feels as if something is holding her back. She looks down at her hand and she can see that it's completely covered in about 100 tiny crystal fragments, as if it has been bedazzled with small gem pieces. She can also see the Starlight's magic is on every one of them. They are keeping her hand in place, and no matter how hard she struggles, she can't get out of this trap. Sorry, Glimmer. You may have magic now, but zero imagination. Starlight raises a hand towards Cinch, and more crystal pieces are lifted off the ground, covering Cinch's other hand, and Cinch's right hand goes up, and Cinch's right hand pulls her up in the air. Then Starlight swings her other hand across, making Cinch's left foot pull her side in the same direction. Then Starlight would swing her arms around, and Cinch's hands and feet would frequently move wherever they go. Cinch gets pulled and swung around by a different body part at a time, like a rag doll. After a couple of tosses, Starlight pulls all of Cinch's limbs over to her, and has her floating in front of her with her arms and legs spread out. Sorry, Glimmer. Oh, please. Do you think you're some kind of magical master or something? I have practiced at this for 3 days straight. You've only learned this overnight. She then forms a little energy ball in her hand. Now for my next trick. She swings down her hand and hits Cinch with the ball. The force of the blow has caused Cinch to fly up backwards. Starlight teleports away and reappears ahead of Cinch. She makes another ball and hits her with it again when she gets there. This sends Cinch flying in another direction. Then Starlight teleports ahead of Cinch again and hits her with another orb. Then she does it again, and again, and again. Starlight keeps hitting Cinch in all directions over and over. The crowd outside is so astounded, their heads are shaking just trying to keep up with the action. Kind of like a tennis match. The crowd inside the school is completely dumbfounded at what's going on. Sport Rich, to Dean Kane is not looking away. That's one of your students? Dean Kane is not looking away. Yeah. Hoity-toity. I better not bump into her tomorrow. Finally, Starlight lands a blow that crushes Cinch back to the ground. Then the figure Cinch gets up and gives out an energy that blows all the crystals off her hands and feet. Starlight lands safely, with hundreds of tiny crystals rain down on her. Cinch uses her magic to lift the larger crystal pieces around her, and Starlight will do the same. They send them flying straight at each other and shoot magic lasers, but all they manage to hit are each other's crystals and beams. After a short while, they aggressively run at the other. Cinch starts to fly with her magic thrusters, and Starlight flies with self-levitation. Everyone, inside and out, begins to panic on what's going to happen next. Both magical females are yelling as they make a collision course towards one another. The two make contact, and the impact creates a large burst of light that engulfs the surrounding area. To be continued. Could Starlight have survived that last blast? What will become the fate of Crystal Prep? What's the plan that Starlight had with Discord? Stay tuned for the next scene of our story. Finally, it took 4 months of working, and I finally finished this chapter. You have no idea how hard it is to choreograph an entire fight sequence only on paper. But no worries, this part is already done with. Hope you all liked it. Looking forward to the next one. Also, before that, I feel like I forgot to add the first part of it. And the first part was, the time has come. Now for the moment to pitch my most favorite MLP character against my most hated character. Let that battle begin. So, I know it's a little late on that, since it's just the very end, but there you go. So yeah. Bye!